Welcome everybody to 1 hour of miniature goodness, and today we have two of the same dragon, but we're going to paint them in exactly the same colour. We're going to go for white dragons, but we're going to experiment today. We have a blue undercoat and we have a bone undercoat. So what I'm going to show you today is the two different effects you're going to get with two different paints to get the same effect using white. So hopefully it's all going to play out. I've made a start on the bases, but first let me go through the paints we're going to use today and what you need to get your job done. Okay, dragons, Tim's in the house, hello. Actually, I'll say hello to people in chat before it zooms up the road there. Stuart's first in chat today, well done Stuart. Rod's in chat, we got my Scorpion in chat, we have the Waffle Witch, hello Waffle Witch. Tim, of course. We have my dad's in chat. The Goblin Emperor's in chat. Look, Ron, that's my dad, the Goblin Emperor. Good luck for tomorrow, Dad. I shall send you some messages tomorrow to see how Mum is and check everything is okay. Okay, who else we got in the house? We got Ty's in the house. And Tal's in the house. Okay, so this is the dragon. Now again, look, I'm going to show you here. I don't know if you can see that. That's got the name of the dragon on it. It's one of those dragon's names again I cannot pronounce. Now, I am originally from Wales. Most of my life I lived in Wales, and a lot of the words in Welsh begin with two L's. I used to live in lldraedis, Wales, so you'd pronounce it with a llan. Now this dragon has got two L's in front of it, so if it was in Welsh it'd be lldraedis, the Devourer. Devourer. So I don't know how to say it properly, but I've said it in a Welsh way, so there you are. Oh, Tal, I didn't miss a good adventure. I was watching the adventure because I was sitting next to Claire watching you. Okay, now what I've used today for the bases, we've got Base Boss 120mm Base Boss bases. These are the bases for your dragons. Now I've given this one a coat of white dragon white, and we've used for the paint today, we have used the blue flame. So what we're going to do is we're going to start dry brushing over that with skeleton bone and some white to make it look like a white dragon. And of course for the other dragon, which is the same dragon, we've started off with the skeleton bone as our primer, and what we're going to do is we're going to start dry brushing that with white as well. Now because I've used these two different primers, we'll get two different effects, but we'll still get that white finish for a white dragon at the end. Now what I'm going to show you as well is the base. Now what I'm doing here is we're doing snow bases, so we'll be using artificial sand. So it's white sand we're using today, which is a very cheap way to make snow. It's a very cheap way to make snow, and you can buy kilos of white sand on the internet and you'll save a fortune. So I shall be showing you later how to add the snow. Now what I've done here, I've just got some twigs. I'll show you the twigs. These are straight from my back garden, from the plum tree. Now all we do with the twigs, we snap it into little bits. So I've got my little pile of bits here. So these are just little twigs from your doggy walks or whatever you do. And what we're going to do is we are dotting these twigs around the base and just sticking them onto the base like I've done on this one here. Now the reason I'm doing that is because we're going to cover the whole base in snow. So just to give a little bit of reference and points onto the base, if you have some little sticks coming out like wood, it will actually show up better and make the base look more involved rather than having it just all snow. So what we'll have is some of this wood just poking out of the snow, and that's why we got a few pieces here that I've super glued directly to the base, and we can have the snow going up to the base and just over the top. And this is also why I've painted this white because as you can see on this space here, when you've got the actual dragon on the base, it goes quite high up into the stomach area. So what we were going to do is have the snow going all the way across, but by painting this top area white, it'll blend in with the snow we're adding, so you won't actually see it. So first of all, I need to actually add a little bit more white to the tops of these, just to make them a little bit brighter. So it should be a very fast paint today. We'll just load up the little palette here. We'll put lots of white on there because we need the white. And we'll put the old blue flame on there as well. Don't need a lot of blue flame, I don't think. But we shall add it because it's a 50-50 mix. I will point out as well, I've seen a lot of people on Twitter again getting upset about their painting and are they ever going to get better at painting, and it's a case of practice makes perfect and a lot of patience. In some cases, in most cases I'll say, in most cases, if you are a miniature painter, it will take you many years to get to a very good standard in painting. Some people, there's always a few people are born naturally gifted. I wasn't one of those, unluckily enough, but there are many people out there that are very talented, and they can be painted a year, 2 years, and they are painting showcase standard miniatures. They are just naturally absolutely fantastic at painting. The key is to not get upset with people's painting. It is a very slow process. Like I said, I paint to a tabletop standard. I'm super happy how I paint. It does not bother me that there's thousands of people out there that do all these showcase standard painting. I love seeing their work, and it just blows me away seeing other people's work that are just doing showcase standard painting. But if you are a learner or beginner, or you've been painting it even 2, 3, 4 years and you're still uncomfortable with the way you're painting, it takes a long time. Miniature painting isn't something you can just pick up. I'm learning all the time. I've been painting over 30 years and I'm still learning. It's enjoying the hobby and having a bit of fun. So don't get upset if you've seen a lot of work online and it's putting you off your own work. Just take lots of inspiration from other people's work, and just keep on painting. And that's the only way you're going to improve, is by just painting as much as possible in your free time. Paint. It's like any job, you'll get better over time. So don't get disheartened when you see everybody's beautiful pictures on Twitter, because one day you'll be the same. Apart from Tal, of course. Okay, now then, right, let's start again. Skeleton bone. I've been thinking of names for Tal because we've been naming all the different. We've been naming all my different patrons, giving them a little title, and I thought of a few names, but I think Scorpio would probably be upset if I said them. So what I'll do, I'll try to think of some other different names. We've been friends too long to lose our relationship. Here's Sir Forescale to give you an idea of the size of the miniature. By the way, this is a nice sized dragon. This is the size of dragon that I would say is the perfect size for Dungeons and Dragons. It's not too big, it's not too small. It's a nice scaled. Goodness me, I can't even see anything today. It's a nice scaled dragon field games. Okay, let's make a start. What I'll do, I'll take this out. Now, let me just say, the reason why I've painted the base white is because we're going to be adding that artificial sand, and we'll be adding PVA glue, and that will be all covered. So I'm using that white just so the snow looks better on top of it. And that's all you need to do for the base. It's just rough and ready. We shall be painting the wood brown, by the way. And talking of that, what we can do, we can get some wood stain brown on the palette ready. Hello, Luck God. Luck God 84. Thank you for joining. And James McCoy's in the house. Hello, James. Now, James, I saw Twitter today, and there's a woman from Cardiff, just like your wife, Pixie D, and she's boasting that she's got 400 snakes and tarantulas and all these creepy crawlies in her house. And the first thing I thought of was your wife. So I take a look onto Twitter, and you might have seen it, but I'm sure your wife has got more creepy crawlies in her house than that woman. And that's why I never visit. House full of creepy crawlies. No, thank you. Right, I'm going to take these bases out the way. What I'll do is I'll just quickly do this because I want to actually show you the snow on this today. So I just want to get the top of this painted off in white. So just quickly go there. Just quickly adding that bit of white there. This is just to finish off that top there, because I'm going to show you in a minute why I'm doing this. It may look crazy what I'm doing, but there is method in the madness in all the things I do. Okay, so I'm going to move these out so we've got some space. Now, what we're going to do here is we're going to have to get some tissue up here. And we'll start with the blue one. Let's start with the blue dragon and see how we get on with the blue dragon. Let's see if we can get some focus. So where we are working. Just get this in here. There we are. Now, what we need to do now is we get some nice dragon white on our palette. You're in the way. I'm going to put you over there. Oh, there we go. Going to add a little bit of white onto the palette there, and I'm going to add a mix of the blue. So we are just going a little bit lighter than the initial layer to begin with. And what we're going to do is go over the whole of the miniature. You might not see much difference, but I do. Going up the scales. Super fast and easy way to paint your dragons. The most important part, of course, is getting that primer coat on. You want a nice even layer all over your miniature, just to get that initial first coat on. Now I'm going to leave those spines blue. I think they look nice blue. So we're going to just work on the scales. And also what I'm going to do is I'm going to repaint the inside blue. Once I've finished all the dry brushing and highlighting of all the actual body of the miniature, what we're going to do is paint those in that very light blue to finish that off. Again, up the scales, we just go round and round and round in little circles around our miniature, just picking off all the areas. Super fast and easy. Making sure we go over all those little fingers. And as I say all the time, it doesn't matter when we're doing this type of painting. We can go over the whole of the miniature because we're going to paint over these parts later. So it doesn't matter that I'm going like this. I'm getting the paint where I want it on the fingers of the wings, and then later on I'll paint over with blue. Right, now we're going white. The idea is to leave a hint of blue, so the dragon still looks blue, but but we want that white to be really kind of popping on top of the dragon, and we want all that darkish blue in the recesses and the rest of the dragon nice and white. So I'm just going against every single scale. We're leaving a little bit of blue on the bottom, of course. We aren't adding white. I always use the primer color to my advantage, so we got the darkest blue will be left at the bottom, so that gives a little shade from our miniature. But what we do is just keep going up the scales, and just keep adding more white to our miniature, our little dragon. And as you can see, it's already getting a lovely white effect across the scales, and all we keep doing is we keep working that white until we feel we're at the stage where that's enough. And that's where, again, in miniature painting, you have to kind of draw the line. A lot of miniature painters can it's hard to know when to stop a miniature. It's hard to say, right, that miniature's done now, I'm moving on to another miniature. And what can happen is you can actually paint too much on the same miniature, and it will look over. It will just look too much, too many colours, too much work for a tabletop miniature. Yes, thank you, Rod. I think we were about 2 people away from the 700 follower giveaway. It says above me there it's 696. It's actually 698 we're at. So we need 2 more followers, and then we can do the giveaway, which is above there, and that'll be given away. And talking of giveaways, one of these dragons here, the 2 dragons I'm painting today, one is for one of my patrons, but one of these dragons will be for the giveaway when we get to 800 followers. I'm going to say when we get to 800 followers, because I've decided we will eventually get to 800 followers. I am starting to believe. I am starting to believe. Neo. Now, as you can see, that blue, this is really working nice with the blue. What I'm finding with the, now let me tell you, this is the blue flame from MSP Paints. Now, what I'm finding with the blue flame, it's really giving a nice kind of icy effect. If you leave it in the recesses, of course, it's giving a nice icy effect to the miniature. And of course, we're going to try it again. We've got this one as well that we're going to do with the white. Now, this will still become a very nice white dragon, but I'm really enjoying this blue. This blue with the white is really working very, very nicely with this dragon. I think this dragon is going to look absolutely stunning when it's finished. Okay, just now, sorry, I'm chatting away. We're going directly into the white now. We're using just dragon white. And again, just going across all the scales, and we're leaving that blue. We're just hitting the scales, and we're making sure we've got a little bit of the blue shining through, and especially making it for shadows. So all the places we want on this miniature is working very nicely. So we've got all the blue going down the bottom of the scales there, going along here in the recesses of these scales here. And it's really given a lovely effect, and there we are with 2 colours, dragon white and that blue flame, and that's all we need to do to get these scales really starting to pop. And of course, by using this technique, we don't need to actually add a ink wash to this miniature, because we have used that primer as a dark colour. That's given us a shadow, so we really do not need to add any ink wash to this dragon. But of course you can add an ink wash. Now, I would recommend, if you are going to add an ink wash to this dragon, you can do it with a watered down blue maybe, but black would probably be your best bet. And maybe a very light grey would also work well as well. I would recommend Vallejo ink if you're using a grey ink wash. Okay, so let's carry on. Right, so what we're going to do, I'm going to wash my brush here. I just need a tissue. Where's my tissue? It disappeared. There you go. I just hit my wine Ribena. Yes, you do need to order Blue Flame. It's absolutely... Oh, hello, the Star Wars man's made it. Hello, Gareth. Nice to see you. I hope you've recovered from your... Was it a quart? A quart of beer? You looked absolutely wasted in the game the other night. Candy blue ink for sparkly gloss. Hello, Renegade Shank. How are you? Naughty Renegade, you missed Tal's game last night. I was watching the game next to the Claire, and I didn't see you turn up. I assumed you was working late. Okay, so let's moving on, and I'll give you a quick recap for any newbies that have just joined. We're painting two different dragons today. Well, they're the same dragon. They're the same dragon, but we're doing two different primer coats, and we're both going for a white effect. And as you can see, we've got this kind of minty, not minty fresh, because minty fresh would be green. We got this fresh blue with the white tones over the tops of the scales. Now, I think that blue looks fantastic with the white. So that really comes across as a nice ice dragon. Definitely worth thinking about ice dragon for snow. This one, of course, we are going to add white directly onto the scales. So we just want to see the two different effects we're going to get. We're just using the two different paints. Now for this one, of course, we are starting again skeleton bone, exactly the same way we paint the first dragon, but this time we're using skeleton bone and mixing 50% of our dragon white in with that skeleton bone. Let's get the camera. And again, we're doing exactly the same thing. I am not worried about going over the wings because I want all the fingers to be hit with paint as well. But what we're trying to do is get a white dragon effect by using these colours. Now I know this works because I always paint my dragons with a skeleton bone undercoat, and it works very, very well. It's just, you just keep on layering up with your white. But I'm really happy with this blue. Again, very, very excited how that's coming on. That's going to be a very nice dragon. So what we're doing is just working around the scales. As always, we're going up the scales, which is nice and heavy for the first initial coat. I'm going to leave the scales the same as the blue one, so they're going to be the same skeleton bone sticking out of this miniature. And again, up the scales, nice and easy. Up the little tail there, against the scales, just making sure all that white hits the tail. And of course, we are using the actual initial primer coat for our shade on this miniature. So we just work our way around, follow all the fingers. I'm not worried about going over the actual wings because we're going to repaint these wings in that skeleton bone. The same as the blue dragon, we shall add the blue flame to those wings to finish them off. It's a very fast paint today, very enjoyable. I'm having a great time doing this. This is what I love doing. Okay, so we're just working our way around, and as you can see, it's starting to change white, but we're still getting that dark shade from underneath, which is nice. Now we're going back into skeleton bone. Actually, I've run out of skeleton bone. I need to add some more. 1 second. Skeleton dragon white. Actually, I need 1 second. There we are. Put some more on the palette there. Now, I'm never skimpy with my paint, as you've probably noticed. I squirt lots on, but I always seem to use up my paint, so it doesn't matter. Okay, so now we are getting even lighter with our skeleton, with our dragon white. All these paints, of course, are from Reaper Miniatures and MSP paints, which you can use directly from the bottle. I do find they are not so thick as Games Workshop or Vallejo and Army Painter, so they have become my favourite paints over the years. And I'm not saying that, I am definitely not saying that because I'm an actual sponsor of Reaper Miniatures. I'm saying that because I do believe these paints are some of the best I have ever used, because of the consistency of the paint. I still use Games Workshop paints and Vallejo paints and Army Painter paints. I got them all here, so I'd never lie to any of you about anything to do with painting. If I don't like something, I will tell you the truth. Yes, the right paint for the right job. Okay, so the last little covering, we're going directly into the dragon white, and this is for the this is your final hit with the white. Again, this is the lightest effect, going along all the edges there. Very, very simple. I'm just hitting all the highest scales, and of course we're leaving the bottom of this miniature nice and dark as a natural shade. I'm just hitting the last areas on the nose there, and this is just really the end finishing touch for the scales. It's a very, very simple way to paint a lovely white dragon. Now, I've been painting my dragons. This is the way I've been painting white for many, many years. If you see the Lord of the Rings miniatures like Gandalf, Sauron and the rest of them, how I paint my miniatures, you'll see that I always start with normally a skeleton bone or cream coloured undercoat, and then I'll work up my whites. But today is the first time I've really wanted to do this blue with the white. Perfect. This would be perfect as well for your frost giants as well. So this is giving a really nice icy effect, and of course it's going to look fantastic on the snow base as well as the white one, of course. So we'll leave those there for now, and we'll go back to our bases just for the time being. Okay, right, so we'll go back to the main initial base here. We've got the two bases. Now, again, very, very simple how we do our bases for this miniature. These, like I say, these are 120mm base boss bases, which you can get from Reaper Miniatures. Also, base boss bases have got a Kickstarter going at this very moment. Just go onto Kickstarter or go onto Google, type in base boss Kickstarter, and they will take you to the Kickstarter for, and you can buy lots and lots of these type of bases for your miniatures. Now, I will be buying more bases, probably from the Bones 6 Kickstarter, which is, I think, coming out towards the end of March. So I'm unfortunately will have to save my pennies for that, because I always seem to spend more than I should, and I think most people, and Tim can back me up on that one, where at the last Kickstarter, the last Bones 6 Kickstarter, I think I went up to $3,500. $3,500. What the hell? But of course, I did buy 10 of the pirate ships. I bought one of the ghost ships. Then I bought all these dragons. Of course, I mean, I got three each of all the dragons. This is including the Kickstarter that was sent to me by one of my patrons to paint. Yeah. Yeah. Crazy stuff. The crazy stuff. Okay, so moving on. We are. What I'm going to do, I'm going to show you the snow base on this one because that one's nearly done. But what we need to do is quickly paint over these in brown. I've got this nice manky brush here. So what we got here, I'm just going to I'm showing you the simplest, fastest way to make a really lovely snow base. What we got here is our wood stain brown, and everybody knows how much I love the wood stain brown from Reaper. This brown is my favorite brown ever. It's absolutely fantastic. I don't know why I love this paint so much. Well, I do, because it's just beautiful. It's a beautiful consistency. It's the perfect color for priming your miniatures. Now, it's perfect for all types of wood stain brown, of course. But if you are painting boats, if you are painting anything wood, if you want to prime your minis with a dark color, but black can be a little bit too dark. So what I find is wood stain brown just is the perfect. It's like the three teddy bears, you know. You got wood stain brown is that color that's in the middle of the three teddy bears. It's just right. Thank you for following. Ranger Harley. Did someone just follow me before that? If you did, I'm really sorry if I missed you. Oh, are we on 7? Are we on? Have we hit 700? Yeah, thank you for following. Stop Sujama time. Thank you so much. Sorry I missed you when you came up. I do go into the zone when I'm painting. Thank you everybody so much for following. Now what I'll do is on the Thursday stream, we'll do a giveaway stream on the Thursday. I shall pull out the dragon that's above my head. That dragon that's above my head, I shall take it out of my showcase in the living room, and we shall put it on display in here on the Thursday stream. And not only shall we do the giveaway, we'll do some fantastic painting on Thursday as well as I will have to adjust all my settings so it shows I have 700 followers on Twitter. But thank you everybody for the support. I never thought I would get up to like 100 when I first started doing Twitch, because there's so many people do Twitch now. It's incredible. And what makes it even harder is there's so many talented there's so many very, very good painters out there. I didn't think I would have a leg to stand on. It is amazing, and of course it's nerve-wracking. It's a very scary thing painting live. I mean, I know it took me many years. People asked me to do Twitch about 4 or 5 years ago, and I just couldn't do it. It took me quite a few years before I actually could do my first show. Now I'm okay. Now I'm okay. Exactly, Nath. Yes, it took me a heck of a lot. I am so much more confident now than when I first started. But it was nerve-wracking. It still is nerve-wracking. But what's really beautiful about this Twitch channel is 90% of the people that are watching me now are patrons, and I don't mean that because I want you all as patrons. I mean that because I know most of you by name. I've talked to nearly every single. I have talked to you all. You're all my friends, and that's why I can do this, because I don't feel, I feel like I got my family around me helping me. apart from Tal, of course. Okay, let me carry on. Right, what I'm going to do is very, very simple. I got these little twigs, look. Now, the reason why I stuck the twigs on first is because what you need to do is you need to get your dragon onto the base. So I'm just going to quickly show you this so you'll get an idea of what's going on. Now, the dragon gets stuck onto the base here. Let's get him into place. So we just put our little dragon in place. And what we do now is we've got all these little twigs. I just got these from the garden and the dog walks. And of course I live in Scotland near the woods. So fantastic goblin family, yeah. So all we do is we get some super glue. I use liquid super glue for everything. And all I'm doing is just add a little drop of super glue here. A little bit just there. And we're just going to add that twig and just stick it on. And let it dry. But what I want to show you is these little twigs here. These are the important ones. These are the important twigs. What you want to do is get a little pair of snips here, and you just want to give a nice even cut through your twig, so you've got a kind of a flat edge, flat as possible there. Just drop a little bit of super glue on the top. And we just stick that in like so, and that'll stay. Because what will happen is we'll add the artificial snow around these twigs. But what will happen is that'll really give more. It'll look too bare when it's just pure snow. Now you can get away with just having a snow base, a complete snow base on the small miniatures or 50mm. Miniature, even a 75mm base, you could probably get away with just snow. But when you're building up a base where you've got 120mm free to play with, you want to have a little bit more just to show that roughly where the dragon is. I mean, this dragon could be in the woods with the snow, it's in a clearing, so using dried wood and sticking these pieces to the base really works well. So it's a very simple thing to do. We just add a couple more bits here and there. Very, very simple. What I try to do as well is I raise up the twigs so there's a little gap underneath as well, so we can push the snow under. And it makes the twigs look like they're laying on snow as well. So again, there's a lip on this. There's a lip on this base where the initial miniature came, and what we're doing, we're covering that base completely with snow, which I'm going to show you in a second now. I'm just waiting on that brown to dry and then we'll move on to that. A little bit of super glue. And what's fantastic about doing these type of bases as well is it's all free. I mean, you can pick your own twigs and sand and all sorts of stuff. Now, again, I'll be showing you the sand in a minute. We'll just stick that twig there, a little bit of super glue, and we'll just leave it like that for now. So what we need to do now, we've got to leave this to dry. So we'll move this out the way, and we'll concentrate on the one miniature. And we'll just get this out the way here. I'll just plonk him on the floor. Just let me drink some of my Ribena wine. Oh, yummy, yum, yum, yum. Okay. Right, so we'll move on to this base here. Now, as you can see, I've added white to all this space. So our dragon, of course, we've got to find the right holes for it. Our dragon should fit in there. Just like so. So our dragon goes on the base like so. It's already looking fantastic. Like I say, I've got a few more bits to do on this dragon, but I really want to show you how quickly and easy you can get a really nice snowy base going. So of course we need some specialist tools. So the specialist tools comes in the form of my blister packs. We need one for some glue, and we need one for some glue and artificial sand. Now, of course, let me move this out of the way. There's many different products out there where you can buy snow for your bases, but I found that white sand from eBay is not only is it super cheap, not only is white sand super cheap compared to buying little tubs from Games Workshop and Army Painter and the rest of the places, is it really becomes a nice effect. And to be honest, if you buy the Army Painter Snow, what you'll find in their tubs is exactly the same stuff. So if you go online, type in white sand, you can buy kilos of this stuff, and you could probably make a killing if you have all those little tubs. If you had all those little tubs that you buy from Games Workshop and the rest, and then fill them up with the white sand, you could probably make a small killing selling this off as sand for miniature painting. Yes, I will give that warning. If when you order your white sand, do not order 1 kilo. Do not ever order 1 kilo of white sand, because customs will be in touch. It was a fun day, wasn't it, Claire? 1 kilo of white sand. What could they think it was? I have no idea. Okay, so what we're going to do is mix up some lovely snow. I'm just adding lots and lots and lots and lots of glue in here, and a little bit in here. What it is, it's really important to cover your base with the PVA glue first. This helps it stick to the base. So this one here, that's what we need to add to that base to stick our sand on. So we'll leave that one there. I think we need a little bit more. So what I'm just doing, if we just work it out, this is a blister pack from my Reaper miniatures, just to give you an idea of what we're using. The white sand? No, I don't. I wouldn't put this into an aquarium. I don't know. Maybe it would be used for a tropical aquarium, but I don't know if I'd use it for. I don't know if I'd use it for a normal goldfish one. I don't know. Okay. All I know is if you type it in, you can buy big bags of this. You could, but yeah, that's what I was thinking. Imagine the algae on this white sand trying to clean it. Okay, so I've got a big thing. I'm just going to start pouring it in. Now I have got a few little bits in it, but that's not a problem. And we just keep on mixing. Just keep on mixing and make it into a nice consistency. Now, imagine you're making a nice tasty icing for cookies. So you're making your icing, you've just made your fresh cookies, and they've cooled down on the rack, and now you're making a nice icing mixture to put over your cookies. Cookies. And as you can see, it needs some more. So what we do, we just get into a consistency of fluffy snow. That's what I call it. I call it the fluffy snow consistency. So we just keep on adding it more. Now I got a little cat hair there, so I'm going to take that out with the tweezers. There you go. Now the consistency we want is definitely not runny, because what will happen is it will actually look disgusting on your base. So there's a perfect thickness, and once I get there, I'll show you. You don't want all that water, the glue, sorry. So we, again, just keep mixing a bit more. And this is what's fantastic about when you buy your sand nice and cheap. You can use as much as you want, because it's cheap enough that if you make too much, it doesn't matter. See, it's starting to thicken up nicely now. But it's still not thick enough. Now I've got 2 miniatures to use with this one, so I've got no problems having lots. And like I said, all this is PVA glue and the sand. As you can see, it's starting to thicken up nicely now, look. So looking more like porridge on a stick. The glue is also really cheap, to be honest. I mean, I buy. Let me show you. This is the glue I buy. I mean, this is your kiddies glue from the old pound shop. It's a 500ml bottle, and I think it was like 99p or 99 cents in American money. And of course, you know, that's going to last you a while. So yeah, it's a nice cheap way to make fantastic little bases. Very good for model railways as well. And for snow, you can use that in loads and loads of different things. What I find with snow, adding snow bases to your miniatures, is it looks so nice. And especially if you are a beginner painter and you want to add something special to your base and just add a little bit more flavour to the base. There you are, Ty, I said flavour again. It really works well. Good tip, keep a mould of small brick shapes spare. Excess mixes pour into setup for future bases as bricks. Yes, Hertz Arts moulds. There we are. That's about as far as I want to go with this mixture. As you can see, it's a lovely consistency. This is what I call fluffy snow. Nice fluffy snow. Perfect for your bases. Okay, so let's get this snow out of the way. Now what we're going to do is we're going to leave the dragon on the base, and we're going to work around all the wood. So this is going to be the tricky part now. I've got to try and get that on there and show you guys what I'm doing at the same time. So what we're going to do is we're going to pretend we're icing the cakes, and we're going to add a little lump to the side and push down, and then just push the snow onto... Oh, and I've missed the main thing. Let me take that off. I'm a naughty boy. I'm a naughty boy. The most important part of the job, and I forgot to show you. We need to add glue. We need to add glue to the actual base. Okay, so what we're going to do now, PVA glue only, this is the most important part, and I nearly missed it, is we've got an old brush. We're just going to add this PVA glue to all the base. And the reason why we do this is because it really helps stick your snow to the base. And what will happen is when the snow dries, it won't peel away from the base. What happens on a lot of miniatures is if you don't add the PVA glue to start with, in the future, it may not be instantly, but later on in the life of your miniature, with heat and different things around the house, the snow will start to peel away from your base, but it won't peel away from your base if you add the PVA glue like I'm doing here. So really important to add the PVA glue before you add the snow. And I nearly forgot. Duh. That's a lot of glue. That's a lot of glue, Stuart. Okay, a little bit more. Just going around with the glue. What I'll be doing is I shall re-glue the actual dragon to this base once we've added the snow, because what happens is we'll let the snow dry and then we can actually glue the miniature to the base properly. But first of all, we wanted to do that. Now we can go back to our snow. Moving on a little bit more. And what we're doing is we're just adding that snow. It actually helps the snow to be snuffled along the base as well. We're just adding a little bit, scraping it along, and then pushing it across. Again, just working our way around the base. Very, very simple with just PVA glue and white sand. I just got a wooden this is for using with clay. It's just a tool for working with clay. You can use anything. You can use an old paintbrush, cocktail sticks, anything really, a little flat edge. What we're doing here, we're just pushing the snow underneath these little rocks, little twigs here, just to build them up. And of course we got the lip. Thank you for raiding, Ernie Hammer. We've got the lip of the dragon here. And so what we're doing is we're using this snow to cover that lip, because that's the last thing you want to see on this miniature. You don't want to see any sign of that lip. So this is why I'm doing the whole base with the snow. We're keeping it nice and fluffy as well. Like I say, it is white, so it might be difficult for you guys to see properly. We'll keep on working our way around anyway. Just pushing the snow up to the base and then working our way up. And this is the reason why we painted the middle of the base white first. Because what's happening now is this snow is blending directly in with the rest of the base, because it's the same color, and it saves us a lot of time. It means you don't have to add snow all the way up to the middle of the base. You're covering all those areas that you want snow to be. A little bit there, and you just push it up to his feet and go under the little twig there. And as you can see, the base is really starting to come along, and it doesn't take long before we've got a really nice looking base. Now what will happen as well is once you've added this snow, depending how thick you've made the snow, it will level itself out, so you can have a nice smooth finish. And of course, the more white sand you add, you can have a more lumpy finish with the snow. Now what I'm finding with this miniature is the actual base, the original base that's come with the miniature, it has a very silky smooth effect to the actual base. So we're looking for a smooth effect snow to match in and blend in with the actual base of this miniature. So this is actually working out perfect for what we need. And of course, because I've added those little twigs as well, sticking up, We can just add the old snow across the top there. Thank you for cheering, Mokai. How are you? Hope you're okay. Hello, Michelle. Congratulations. Well done. You can start sending me bananas. I like bananas. Bananas and grapes. Yum. Yum. Bananas and grapes. Okay, stop singing. Let's go. Right, nearly there. Nearly there. Just adding a bit more snow. We've reached 700 followers, Michelle. Absolutely amazing. So on the next show, we shall do the dragon giveaway. Who's cookies? Who's talking about cookies? Did someone say cookies? Yes. Hello, Casmania. We are going to be adding some snow. We're almost getting to that part. Oh, you're getting overexcited. Now there's two ways you can add snow to the top of your little branches, but there's something really important we have to do first before we add the snow to the top of our little logs that we got dotted around the base, and that is we have to give them a little tiny dry brush just to pick out the bark, because at the minute they are just dark brown. So what we need to do is get a little bit of colour on there, nothing much, just enough to show what we're up to. Okay, that's about enough for that. Right, you go around the rim of the base with your thumb. Now I will be painting the rim in black once this is finished to make sure it's nice, clean and tidy. Won't I, Rod? Tidy. Rod's my boy. No, Tim. It will be everybody in chat. It will be everybody in chat who's able to for the giveaway. But we will add you to the Wheel of Pain anyway, because you are a valued patron, plus you are a Supreme Commander. A Supreme Commander. Yes, everybody on Thursday. The draw will be for Thursday for the beautiful miniature above me there. And what happens when we do these draws? My partner Scorpula, she's in the other room. She does all the moderating for the channel. She puts everybody's names into a little wheel of pain, as they call it. Spins the wheel, and she will then announce the winner live on chat next on our Thursday show. Okay, let me just quickly carry on with this. What time are we on? Oh, my goodness! Oh. It's finishing time. I didn't realise. Wow, that was a very fast stream. Let me just quickly show you this before I finish, just so you know what I'm doing. What we've got to do to quickly finish off the logs. It won't be 5 seconds, guys. I'm sorry I'm running late. The people like Tal who are busy, who need to go, they can go. You can go. You can leave me. But I'll only be 2 more minutes. Won't be long. I just want to show the logs finished. I just need a little dry brush. Okay, what I'm going to do here, I got the tiny little bit of skeleton bone that we had here earlier. Now everything's a little bit wet, so I've got to be careful here. So what I'm doing here is just quickly just adding a tiny little touch to the top of the bark there, just going over the bark. And not only does this give a nice wintry effect to the top of the bark, it also picks out the detail of the bark as well. Thank you for subscribing, Michelle. 19 months. Wow. So what we're doing is, this is just to add a little bit of extra to these little logs, because just like you said earlier, you can't have the little logs just looking brown. They would look totally out of place if you didn't have some snow or a little bit of ice or frosting on the top of these logs if it's in the snow. So I don't know if you can see that properly. I'm sorry about the camera. We just add a little bit of extras to the top of the logs, like so. Don't know if you can see that there. Like I say, everything's a little bit wet at the minute. It won't look at Gareth sneaking in. Look at Gareth, Goblin Boss. So all these little logs, they just get a little flick here. Now, to finish off the logs, again, super simple. This time, what we're doing, we're not actually adding any the snow. What we're doing is we're going directly into the white sand. So I need my old brush again. Where's my old brush? Here we are. What I'm doing here, like I say, it's all wet, so it's not going to show up as good as it should. What I'm doing is going to the white glue again, just picking out little areas. Top of the log there, top of the log there, top of the log there. Renegade Shank, if you say anything about logs, I shall kill you. And we just I knew it. Okay, so we're just adding a tiny bit of our glue to the tops of all our logs. We'll get the sand back. Now what I like to do is I like to sprinkle a little bit of the sand over the whole of the miniature. This actually gives a little texture to the top of the logs. It gives the texture to the top of the sand once that's to the top of the snow once that's dried. So a little bit around, like so, like so, and that's it. That is all we need to do. Let me see if we can get a closer look. And that's all we need to do for our base, and that gives us a fantastic, very basic, but a very beautiful looking snow base with logs added. And of course, with our dragon, this dragon here, this is definitely going to be an ice dragon now. We shall paint in the eyes. I'll probably add some nice orange eyes. The inserts of these wings here, we shall be going with the blue flame, and I'll be doing another coat of blue flame. So of course I shall finish off these dragons, and I'll do a 360 of the finished dragons tomorrow for you all. Now I don't know if I should say goodnight now, because I got a hype train going. Thank you all so much for the hype train and the cheers. It's really nice of you all. Like I say, this coming Thursday, this Thursday will be the ultimate giveaway. It will be my 700 Twitch follower giveaway. The dragon above me, of course, is for anybody. Now I have painted that. If you go onto my YouTube channel, you can probably find the video of the Twitch stream where I actually painted that video above. And of course you'll be sent that dragon worldwide free of charge, and it's for anybody who watches the stream this Thursday coming. Now this dragon here, this little dragon here, once this is totally finished, this will be the giveaway when we get to 800 followers. Michelle's Goblin Boss, what's going on? So The 700 follower giveaway will be given away on Thursday, and this one will be the next one for when we get to 800 followers. So, any questions? Look at you all. Stop it. Bonnie needs to go to the toilet. What are you doing to me? I need to go to the toilet. I tell you something, Gareth, and Michelle and Rod, they got this thing with the Goblin boss, and I love them for it. But poor old Gareth the Star Wars man, right? He doesn't last long, ever. He gets destroyed. Thank you for watching. Stop Sujami time. It's absolutely awesome having all these new people come to watch the show. Thank you so much for popping in. Now, all these people that have done all this hype train as well. These are all my goblins and my friends and everything. They're all absolutely beautiful, wonderful people. Now, oh, Raid Reaper! There we are. Now, there's my reason to take the dog for a walk. Yes, we shall go Raid Reaper. Let's go Raid Reaper. Right, now let me remember how to Raid Reaper. Oh, they're not streaming. Who said Raid Reaper? They're not even streaming. Oh, was it you, my lovely? Oh, that's okay. They are normally streaming now. Monday nights we normally go and streamer. Rodner had to take day off from Reaper. Oh, okay. Thank you, Casmania. Yeah, I love Rodner Bender. Yeah, she's definitely one of my favourite painters from Reaper. She's absolutely awesome. So whenever she's on a Monday, I do try to raid her, but quite often I forget. So I often need my goblins to say, Raid Reaper! Raid Reaper! Okay, I got I am actually going to have to say goodnight to everybody. I know you're being lovely and sending me all these lovely cheers and being absolutely awesome, but unfortunately, I can't stay. I can't stay. But 20. Okay, I'll wait. Okay, I'll wait. Michelle, no. You're not going anywhere. Oh, look at Gareth. You wonder why Gareth wants me to quit. Is there anybody in chat that while I'm here waiting for everybody to finish their choo-choo train, is there anything in the future you'd like me to show anybody in chat? I mean, I can see there's still lots of people in chat. Is there anything you'd like me to show you in future to do with miniature painting? I mean, remember, my painting is for tabletop standard painting. I'm trying to show you different ways to paint your miniatures and fast ways to paint your miniatures. But no, Shank, you're not seeing the gold font. Is there any is there anything you'd like me to show you to do with painting terrain? Mainly, I mean, it's all Reaper miniatures really. Oh, and I will say one other thing before we do say goodnight. Goodness me, look at that hype train. Water effects, Renegade Shank. Yes, I can do water effects. That would be nice. House with a thatched roof. Yes, I would like to do that, Nath. Nath, actually, that's a very good idea because we can implement that into my Rohan houses. More diorama training. Yes, I love dioramas. I will definitely do more dioramas, Rod. How you paint that dragon on the mushroom base? Well, you will find out. You will find out, H Minis, because it's getting sent to you in 2 weeks' time. Yes, I absolutely love the diorama builds. Now I have got one more diorama build left from Reaper Miniatures, which is that snake pit. So we can actually do a snake pit build. But there are but we have loads and loads of dioramas. I mean, dioramas are my favourite thing to do anyway. So we can start implementing. We could do once a week a diorama, and then one day diorama, one show doing the actual different types of painting. That would be good. I got no problems doing that. Now, I mean, oh, Mockai's Goblin Boss. I forgot about Mockai, Gus. Yes, Mockai's been Goblin Boss a few times too, haven't you? What colour do you dye your Roma? Yes, thank you, Gareth. Okay, I am going to say good night now. I love every single one of you. Thank you so much for supporting me. Oh, sorry. I've got one more thing to say. Now, as you all know, my Friday streams, I am putting them on hold for the time being. On Fridays, I'm popping over to see my mum and dad. So I'm trying to spend more time with my parents now. But what I'm going to do is I'm not going to completely quit the Lord of the Rings streams. What I'll do is I'm going to try my best that I make you a little Lord of the Rings video. So what I'll do is I'll make a video of like a short video for my Lord of the Rings miniatures and painting my Lord of the Rings miniatures, and I'll try my best to get one up nearly every week, and I'll put it up onto YouTube, etc. But there will not be a Twitch show. I'll stick to the Monday and the Thursday, and we'll just get that. Thank you so much, Rod, and we'll work our way there. Maybe in the future we'll start again, but until that time, I'm just going to be sticking with the Monday and Thursday for the time being. So there we are. I love every single one of you. Have a lovely week. I shall see you on Thursday. I'm sure a lot of you will pop in because you'll want that big dragon above my head. Okay, take care, guys.